I spent $44,000 on my sister's wedding, but she pranked me with the wrong Italian city. I ended up in Naples while they partied in Florence. The next day, she texted, "LOL, didn't want to invite you." Mom blamed me. I smiled. Then sent a 4-foot-tall surprise. She called hours later, crying, "Can I please pay you back? There's a 4-foot foam board leaning in my sister's foyer right now. It's too big to ignore, too heavy to throw away. It's my wedding gift to her." And honestly, it started the biggest fight of my life, but it also finally set me free. So, I'm Noah. I'm 32. And if you're looking for someone who knows how to wrangle a budget, chase down an invoice, or basically just figure things out, that's me. I manage the money for a construction company, spreadsheets, vendor calls, all that fun stuff. At home, I'm the guy who packs his lunch, irons his shirts on Sundays. The fanciest thing I own is a used coffee grinder, if that tells you anything. In my family, I was basically the human fire extinguisher. Something breaks? Noah. Someone's crying? Noah. A bill shows up with red letters? Everyone looks at me like I'm supposed to just handle it. Like my name isn't Noah, it's Solution. Then there's Tessa. My sister. She's 27. Got perfect hair, and, honestly, the attention span of a sparkler. She's an online lifestyle person, morning routines, matcha, unboxings. She can be really funny, but man, she can also be incredibly mean. She calls my dad daddy, and he just melts. My mom calls her baby, and when she talks to me, my name usually comes with a job attached. Noah will handle it. I mean, I can replace a faucet blindfolded, but I can't remember the last time anyone asked me if I was tired. This whole thing? It didn't start with a bang. It was more like a slow, painful bleed. I bought them a wedding. Not all at once, not with a grand gesture. It was in chunks that, at the time, felt reasonable. A deposit here, a Venmo Friday there. 14 payments in total. It added up to $44,000. I know that number because I typed it into a cell, hit enter, and the total didn't even blink back at me. It was all for this dream wedding in Florence, a garden ceremony, strings, candlelight. I kept telling myself it was love. I told myself it was my gift. I told myself I was choosing this. I was an idiot. The week before we were all supposed to fly out, we were at my parents' table. Mom had her binder out, with tabs for florals, music, travel, the whole 9 yards. Tessa, she was there with her gel pen, flashing this smile that just screamed, "Someone else is paying for this." Dad was at the head of the table, his usual power position. The room smelled like lemon cleaner and coffee, that perfect, calm, family scent that always feels like a trap. "Okay," Mom said, tapping the travel tab. "Italians are loose, so we have to be precise. Print your boarding passes. No checking bags." Then she turns to me. "Noah, your flight is in the email." And I'm like, "Wait, you booked mine?" She just shrugged, handled? Like that word just settled everything. Tessa blew on her nails, completely unbothered. "Florence is chaos," she declared. "We might route people through Naples and bus. It's prettier for vlogs." And I just stared at her. Naples is 5 hours from Florence. I pointed that out, calmly. And she did that flinch laugh thing she does when someone dares to ruin her fun with facts. "Relax, Professor." Dad, of course, forked a grape, pointed it right at me. "Don't start with the negativity. You always think small." My stomach dropped. I pulled out my phone. Subject, Italy. Attachment PDF. Boarding pass. And the airport code, NAP. Naples. I started to open my mouth, but Tessa touched my arm, her lashes lowering like a curtain. "It's a surprise route," she whispered. "Trust me." That was the first nick, Not the money yet. Just the way my name gets moved around like furniture. The way information just turns slippery when I try to hold it. I told myself to breathe. I told myself not to ruin the vibe. I closed the email. Tessa popped a grape into her mouth and winked. "You're going to love it," she said. And because wanting to belong is a kind of gravity, I believed her. I rinsed my coffee cup. Mom gave my cheek a quick kiss, like stamping a document. Dad just grunted, "Don't be difficult." We did our usual choreography. I didn't know then that I would land in Naples while they lit candles in Florence. I didn't know then about the text that would come the next morning. I didn't know then what a 4-foot package can do to a family. I just knew I was the useful one. And useful people always say yes. And look, it didn't start with Italy. It started with birthdays and divvying up slices of cake. When I turned 10, I got a used Game Boy and a lecture about screen time. When Tessa turned 10, she got a trampoline and an Instagram post from Mom that said, "She deserves the world." When I brought home a solid report card, Dad just said, "Solid." When Tessa brought home a participation ribbon, Dad would beam, "Star." Money had a script, and it was always the same: if Tessa needed it, we found it. If I needed it, we learned a lesson. "You can do hard things," Dad would boom. "Be a man." When the dishwasher died, I learned to fix the pump. When Tessa's phone cracked, we learned about same-day replacements. At 18, I worked nights at a warehouse, stuffing cash into envelopes labeled rent, groceries, car. They lived in an old shoebox, taped shut with blue painter's tape. Once, when Tessa was between gigs, that tape was cut. "Emergency," Mom said, touching my elbow like a nurse. "We'll make it right." They made some of it right. When things calmed down, they never really calmed down. By 24, my phone plan was a family plan, with my card attached just for setup. That plan became a Vine. Lines got added like cousins. At one point, my bill listed 5 names and 1 credit card, mine. I'd try to bring it up, "We need to switch back." And Mom would just wave her hand, "Now isn't the time." If I pushed, Dad used that tone that just dimmed my insides. "Don't nickel and dime your sister." Tessa, she tried everything, always with a terrifying confidence. A lash studio, a jewelry dropship, a candle brand with rose-scented wax that ruined my kitchen for a month. "Invest in me," she'd say. "It's family." Loans became gifts. Gifts became expectations. I told myself I was lucky to be able to help. But the Ledger app on my phone had numbers that looked like compassion and felt like pure exhaustion. When she got engaged to Leo, he's a good guy, kind, a little shy, shoulders like a hanger, our house turned into a production set. Mom had a Pinterest board for every hour of the day. Dad had opinions about chairs. Tessa? She just had a camera. The plan started small: a backyard, string lights, tacos. Then the algorithm found her. Destination, she shrieked, eyes shining. Tuscan vines. Bells. I could have said no. Right then. I didn't. I said, "I'll cover the photographer." Then the band needed a deposit. Then the venue only held dates with a wire transfer. Then hair and makeup wanted their travel fees early. "We'll Venmo you Friday, honey." Mom chirped. I put a number in a cell, $3,000. Then $6,200. Then $18,000. I kept telling myself I was holding the family together like epoxy. The numbers were my memory: venue deposit, $18,000. Catering deposit, $9,500. Band deposit, $6,200. Photographer deposit, $2,900. Florist prepaid, $1,100. Dress tailoring, $1,800. Hair/makeup travel, $620. Chair rental upgrade for the white ones that won't squeak on video, $900. I kept telling myself, this is the gift. This will be a story we laugh about. I'm being generous, not stupid. Deep down, I knew which one it was. There were these quiet humiliations, buried under all the noise. Tessa would tag all her friends in thank you posts and just mention me like a line item, and my brother for logistics. At dinner, Aunt Paula would gush, "Tessa's our dreamer, Noah's our spreadsheet." Mom told Leo's parents, "Oh, we're covering the important stuff." I just smiled so hard my jaw clicked. I tried to set a boundary. "I'll stop at $44,000, I told Mom, like saying it out loud would make it real. "After that, it's on you." She just put her hand on my cheek. "Honey, don't be crass." I wanted to scream. There were moments that should have woken me up. The day I found my passport moved a half-inch in the drawer. The night the iPad I used for the phone plan was on a different screen than I'd left it. The post-it near Mom's coffee cup with a code on it, then a tear through the numbers. The way Tessa sent me a Florence hotel link, but the page wouldn't load unless you had the exact URL. I told myself I was paranoid. I told myself love looked like trust. The week before we flew, Mom insisted on handling flights. Group booking saves money. I said I'd book my own, pay my own, keep it clean. She just clocked me. "Don't be difficult, Noah." Then Tessa texted me a PDF boarding pass for Naples. "Cheaper," she wrote. "Wheel bus. It's a vibe." I tried to push back, "I'll just go straight to Florence." She shot back, "Don't be weird. You'll mess up the shuttle." I stared at those 3 letters, NAP. I googled buses, 5 hours, 30 minutes, and a transfer. I typed, "Is the wedding even near Naples?" and then I deleted it. I told myself, stop ruining things. I downloaded the pass. The morning I left, Dad gave me a one-armed hug. "Don't be late like last time." Mom handed me a Ziploc of snacks. Tessa pecked the air near my cheek and said, "See you soon," like it was some inside joke I wasn't in on. I rolled my carry-on to the Uber. The driver asked if I was excited. So excited, I heard my voice say, and it sounded alien to me. Some part of me knew. Some part of me still wanted to be invited. The flight attendant said buongiorno, and I just cried quietly into a plastic cup of soda. When the wheels hit Naples, I checked my phone for shuttle info. The family chat had 17 new photos, candles, vines, Tessa in a silk robe with her friends, looking ecstatic. No shuttle info. No tag for me. I texted, "Where's the bus from Naples?" No reply. I stood near baggage claim, watching the carousel cough out suitcases. A child with a balloon laughed. A couple argued softly in English. My stomach felt like I'd swallowed sand. 30 minutes later, a DM from Tessa. A shrugging emoji. And a single word, soon. Soon. I found the bus kiosk. I bought a ticket. I told myself, it's just a miscommunication. 5 hours and one sad pack of crackers later, I knew it wasn't. Naples station at 10 p.m. smells like oil and sugar. People move like crosswalk lights, fast and in bursts. I stood there with my carry-on and my suit bag, watching a man push a cart of empty water bottles like he was late for an appointment that didn't exist. I texted Mom, "I'm in Naples." "Shuttle?" No answer. I called Dad, straight to voicemail. I messaged Tessa again, "What's the address for the villa?" 3 dots. Then nothing. I tried Leo. He wrote back, "Hey man, asked Tessa." Translation, "Stay out of it." I bought an espresso from a window where the woman looked at me like I was a sigh. I sat on my bag and made a list on my notes app, just to keep my brain from spiraling. Bus to Florence, 5H. Train, closed. It's late. Hotel near station, Euro. Then, the question that just hung in the air, am I an idiot? The next morning, my phone buzzed at 7:02 a.m. A message from Tessa. 2 photos, then text. Photo 1, Tessa and her bridesmaids in satin pajamas, holding flutes. Caption, "We made it." Photo 2, the garden. Arches. Candles. A sign in cursive that said, "Welcome to forever." Then the text. The one that changed everything. LOL, I just didn't want to invite you. I read it 3 times. It was like someone had set the kitchen timer and walked out of the house. Silence. And a ticking you can't unhear. Before I could even type, another one. From Mom, stop faking confusion. It's your fault. You make everything heavy. Don't come. You'll ruin it. I just stared at those words. Heavy. Ruin. Don't come. I took a breath. Then another. The man with the water bottles was back. A child pointed at a pigeon. A woman dragged a suitcase with a broken wheel. The world did not care about my texts. It kept on. And I smiled. Not the happy kind. The kind that happens when the floor stops pretending to be a trampoline and turns into concrete. There was relief inside the pain. Clarity feels clean, even when it hurts. I wrote back to Tessa. Thanks for the clarity. Have a good day. She responded with a champagne bottle emoji. I closed my messages. I opened my bank app. Habit. Comfort. Numbers that didn't judge. Balance, normal. Charges, normal. Transfers out, none. I felt the ground under me for the first time in years. I booked a small hotel in Naples with a clean bedspread and a timeout from being useful. At noon, a picture popped up in the family chat. Tessa, veil flowing like fog. Mom wrote, our angel. Dad wrote, my girl. I put my phone face down and just looked at the cracks in the ceiling. I ordered a sandwich in the hotel lobby, using please in bad Italian. The man said, Prego, signor, and I could have cried from the simple politeness. At 5 p.m., I took a train to Rome, then a cheap flight home the next morning. No theatrics, no speeches. Just 2 seats, 3 plastic cups, and the knowledge that I had finally seen the wall I'd been leaning against. When I landed, I took a shower that felt like being rinsed of something that never belonged to me. I made coffee. I put my phone on Do Not Disturb. I opened a new email account, No Boundaries at. I opened a blank document and titled it, 90 Days. Then I called a courier company. Do you do specialty deliveries? I asked. Size, the voice said. 4 feet tall, I said. Foam board, and an envelope. Address? I gave Tessa's. I made one more call. A mobile notary. I printed a simple document. Acknowledgement of debt and repayment plan. Amount, $44,000. Terms, 18 months, 0 interest if on time, 8% APR if late, automatic payments via the link. Evidence attached, itemized receipts, and a screenshot of Tessa's LOL text, enlarged to a full page. I wasn't going to post it. I wasn't going to shout. I was going to do paperwork. I taped the envelope to the back of a 4-foot foam board I'd printed at the copy shop that night. Title across the top, in clean black letters, wedding gift. What I paid for so you didn't invite me. Under it, a neat list with amounts. Down the right side, a giant QR code to a secure payment portal with her name already filled in. At the bottom, a line, this isn't about revenge. This is about closure. I slept for 6 hours. Woke up at 6:30 a.m. The courier was on time. He wore a blue polo and had the energy of a person who has seen some things. He checked the name. Tessa, I said. Make sure she signs for it. The notary will meet you there. If she refuses, take a photo of the refusal and hand the envelope to Leo. Got it, he said. Practical. Like me. At 8:12 a.m., my phone, still on Do Not Disturb, lit up. The courier app banner, delivered. Signed by Tessa. 30 seconds later, the calls began. 16 in a row. 3 from Mom, 8 from Dad, 5 from a number I didn't know. I let the phone vibrate on the table like a trapped bee. At 8:20, a new email from Tessa. Subject, are you insane? Body, take this down right now. You're humiliating me. You're evil. I'm blocking you. I wrote back. Subject, repayment. Body, hi. For the next 90 days, email only. Payments begin on the 1st. If you sign the plan today, no interest. If not, interest begins next month. I will not post anything. I will not discuss this on the phone. Love, Noah. At 8:31, Mom. Subject, how dare you? Body, you send a sign like that? It's incredibly inappropriate. Your aunt saw it. Leo's parents saw it. You will destroy your sister. You're selfish. You're ungrateful. After all we do. I replied. Subject, boundaries. Body, I won't discuss this by phone or text. If you want help budgeting for the honeymoon, ask respectfully. Twice monthly dinners are available, Thursdays at 6 o'clock. Email only. At 8:35, a different tone. Leo. Subject, I'm sorry. Body, I didn't know she sent you to Naples. I didn't know she told you not to come. I'm sorry. Please give me a day to talk to her. We'll pay you back. I wrote back, thanks. The plan is in the envelope. If signed today, we're good. At 8:40, Dad's turn. Subject, take it back. Body, what you did is unforgivable. You made your sister cry on her wedding week. Take it back. I replied, I'm not taking anything back. I am taking responsibility for where my money goes going forward. If you need help with your credit card interest, I'll sit with you. Email only. At 9:02, a call slipped through from an unknown number. I let it ring out. A voicemail popped up. Tessa, sobbing. I didn't think you'd actually, why would you? My in-laws saw it. Okay. Can I please pay you back? I'll sign. Just please don't send anything else. I listened, sitting at my table with my hands around a warm mug, because you can hold two truths, I love my sister. And also, enough. I emailed her the DocuSign link. 1 minute later, a ping, signed by Tessa. 5 minutes after that, a second ping, co-signed by Leo. I made a rule with myself, no dancing in the end zone. No, I told you so. No posting. No revenge. Just paperwork. At noon, the bank app pinged. Payment, January 18, $2,444. The decimals made me laugh a little. They were so neat. Tessa sent an email. Subject line, first payment. No body. That was fine. Then came the second wave. The family group chat. Screenshots. Thermonuclear texts. Aunt Paula, Noah sent a billboard. Cousin, this is giving court. Mom, we raised a monster. Dad, he's dead to me until he apologizes. I muted the chat for 1 year. I printed a new document. Titled, What I Will and No Longer Do. I will no longer pay the family phone plan. As of today, all lines except mine are disconnected. I will no longer pay deposits to hold dates or just to get us started. I will not be an authorized user on anyone's card. I will not respond to demands. I will respond to respectful requests in 48 hours, by email. I will not attend conversations where I am called selfish for having a budget. What I am willing to do. Twice monthly dinners at a public place, 1 hour. Emergency rides or hospital visits. Help set up a budget, if asked without insults. How to reach me. Email only, for 90 days. I printed it and put it in a manila folder. I dropped it at my parents' door. No note. They know how to read. That afternoon, I went to my bank, in person. Remove all shared access, I said. The banker asked for my passcode. I gave her the new one, a sentence, not a date. I put a freeze on my credit. I set up alerts for charges over $1. I bought a fireproof envelope and put my passport in it, because my life needed a lock, not an apology. The next day, Leo asked to meet. We sat at a coffee shop. He looked like someone who just realized his house had a basement he'd never visited. I didn't know, he said. I believe you, I said. She told me she invited you, he said, staring at his hands. She said you'd swing by. She texted me, I just didn't want to invite you, I said, keeping my voice flat. We both looked at the table like it had answers. We'll pay, he said. I want to start our marriage clean. Good, I said. You have the plan. I'm sorry, he said again, like that was the only word he had. Thank you, I said. I hope you both have the wedding you want. Not the performance. He smiled for the first time. Me too, he said. People will ask where the foam board went. It's in their foyer, leaning against a wall. Because it's too large to ignore and too heavy to throw away in front of Leo's parents. I didn't deliver it to embarrass. I delivered it to make denial physically inconvenient. Over the next week, the machine tried me. Mom sent long emails with Bible verses and cutlery comparisons. Dad sent 2-word lines, call me. Fix this. Tessa sent 3 dots and then nothing. I answered once a day, with the same 5 sentences, I love you. Email only. I'm not funding this wedding. Payments are between you and the portal. I'm available Thursday, 6 o'clock to 7 p.m. at Rose's. Boundaries are dull. That's their strength. They don't feel like victory. They feel like routine. On the 3rd Thursday, Mom and Dad came to Rose's. They sat in the red booth, their mouths turned down in unison. We talked about the weather, which is how you know people are adjusting. Dad said he got a bill from the dentist. I said I could help him call and set up a plan. He said, okay. Mom said the florist gave them a small credit because of distress. I said that was kind. We ate pasta. No one said helicopter. Tessa didn't come. She emailed the next day. Subject, payment to. The portal pinged. I forwarded a receipt with thank you. She sent a single period back. Progress. I started breathing like the air was finally mine. I cleaned my apartment. I shredded envelopes that were 10 years old. I put $300 in a category labeled Italy for me. Not revenge. A counterweight. On day 19, my phone rang at 2 a.m. The way phones ring when old rules are calling. I didn't answer. In the morning, I listened to the voicemail. Noah, your grandmother fell, Mom's voice shaking. Hospital. I called back in 10 seconds. When it's an emergency, I show up. That's not for negotiation. That's for me. I drove them. I sat in a hard plastic chair. I filled out a form, because forms calm me. I stayed until Grandma stabilized. Dad squeezed my shoulder. A simple press. Thanks, he said. No lecture. No be a man. Just thanks. It stuck. The wedding happened a month later. Smaller. Pretty. No helicopter, obviously. They sent a photo. Tessa and Leo under a tree with tea lights. Tessa wasn't tagged. Mom didn't caption it with "We did it." The picture looked like people, not a campaign. I looked at it and didn't feel angry. I felt like I had finally delegated my place in their story to its rightful size. Payment 3 came. Payment 4. I auto-transferred them into Italy for me. I booked myself a small trip for the winter, 3 days in Florence, 2 in Naples on purpose, because I believe in fixing names that got misused. I didn't send anyone my itinerary. 2 months later, Tessa asked to meet. We picked a cafe with plants and quiet music. She arrived in sunglasses, like she was hiding from an old version of herself. She started without a script. I was cruel, she said. I thought it was funny. I thought. She looked at the table. I thought you'd still pay and show up to clean it. I did pay, I said. I didn't show up. She laughed once, sharp. Then she got serious. I'm ashamed, she said. You're paying it back, I said. That's how shame turns into action. She nodded. Leo said we grow up now, she said. I didn't like that. Then I did. We sat in a silence that wasn't a fight. She picked at a napkin. Do you hate me? She asked. I love you, I said. I hate what you did. She took a breath. I'm going to finish paying early, she said. I'm selling the camera lights. I don't need lights for my life. Good, I said. She pushed her sunglasses up on her head. Mom says you're dramatic. I'm calm, I said. Calm looks dramatic to people who are used to you drowning with them. We both smiled. She reached into her bag and pulled out a small envelope. For you, she said. Inside, a receipt. Payment June 18th. It wasn't due for another week. She shrugged. I didn't want it in my head, she said. Also, she hesitated, I changed my phone line. It's on my card now. Proud of you, I said, and I truly meant it. We walked out. We hugged. It didn't feel like performing for a camera. And here's the part where I tell you the moral, because I'm done writing my story like I'm asking permission. I won't be the family's emergency fund because someone thought a helicopter meant love. I won't attend events I'm not invited to, and I won't pay for them either. I won't argue with group chats. I will write simple emails and keep copies. I will pay for my life first. I will help for actual emergencies, not for content. I will meet twice a month and split the check. I will say no like a full sentence and not explain it to people who profit from confusion. This wasn't revenge. This was paperwork. This was a 4-foot reminder that respect has dimensions. Mom still sends me paragraphs, sometimes with words like honor and family in bold. I answer once, dinner Thursday. Sometimes she comes. Sometimes she doesn't. Dad asks me about interest rates now. I show him a calculator. He nods like a student. The Italy for Me fund hit the number I wanted. I booked Florence for February. I booked Naples, too, on purpose. I'll eat a sandwich at the station and watch the pigeons, and I won't wait for a shuttle that isn't coming. I'll send a photo to myself. And if I'm tempted to feel guilty when my coffee is hot and the numbers add up, I'll remember the phone board leaning in their hallway and the first payment that pinged without a fight. I'll remember that love without a boundary is a leak. A leak you don't see until the floor is rotten. My life is not a venue. My wallet is not a vote. My yes means yes. My no means no. This isn't about revenge. This is about closure. And 4 feet of it was exactly the size I needed to see.